Hello, Braves Country. This is Coach Ken Anderson coming to you for Hardcore Braves, and we're coming to you for the Cardinals recap in another lost series. Ryan, how you doing tonight?
Well, the Cardinals really shit my porridge, buddy. How about you?
Yeah, they're ruining my Fourth of July celebration. So, trying to be all hyped up. I did call for the sweep, and I really thought we would do some things different. We'll get into the games, but the game one we lost because we were 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position. That's exactly what happened in the game. We just did not hit with runners score position, and we got off to a decent start. Ozzy was kind of the offense. He hit a sack. Ozzy was the offense most of the series. He had a sack fly for a run. We go up one. The one good thing that Martine's done this year, he had given up 2 home runs in his past 9 starts. And in the fourth inning, he gives up 2 home runs in that inning and gives up a 4 spot. Overall, we'll start with the Martin Perez start. What did you think about Martin's start?
I think Martine finally had his first hiccup. I mean, it's not like he was horrible by any stretch of the imagination. He had one inning where he got hit around a little bit and he left a pitch up in the strike zone and the gentleman just absolutely parked it into the right field bleachers, and that was just kind of the last little dagger. I think they had a 2-0 lead, and I think it was a 3-run bomb, and it made it 5-0 at that point. The way the Braves were playing, it was that game was over. So with that being said, though, I mean, uh, Martine's not supposed to be our number two starting pitcher. He's really outperformed himself, and he's a number four, number five, and when this offense is clicking, 4 or 5 runs used to not feel like that big of a deficit, but it's been detrimental right now the last 4 weeks for this team. So I'm not gonna blow him up. It wasn't his best work. It definitely wasn't a good start, but at the same point in time, he wasn't getting any help from the offensive side either.
The home run to Velasquez that tied the game at one was a bomb. He hit him almost into the waterfall. And then Church, he got the pitch down, but it's in that honey hole for left-handed hitters, and he dropped the bat and hit it into the chop house. I also can't really, even the 4 runs in 5 innings. I mean, he's a number five starter. I just kind of have to live with that. That's kind of his bad end of the start. Offensively, again, like I said, we're 1 for 12. We just couldn't get a big hit. Part of that reason, we can go ahead and talk about him right now. Offense is struggling, and the one guy that is starting to struggle, we don't need to struggle while the offense is down, is Matt's starting to get under the ball again, Ryan. And there better be some people pick him up because he's been huge for this year, and you can see him kind of in a little funk right now, can't you?
Yeah, I'm not. Look, he is in a little bit of a funk, but at the same point in time, I'm not too worried about Matty. Matty doesn't go into long stretches. He might go into a home, like, he might have a bad homestand or a bad, series or two on the road, but Matt knows what he needs to correct in his swing. I think he just got a little long this series, a little under the baseball. It wasn't anything to do with his timing. Everything looked pretty good. I think he just got a little long with some of the swings, which led to him getting up under some baseballs. Because I'm telling you, he missed probably off the top of my head 3 to 5 pitches that he could have absolutely murdered into the chop house this weekend. But he's going through a little bit of a scuffle, and that's okay. Matty's been carrying the offense pretty much the entire season, so this is where you need guys to start picking them up. Austin Riley.
Yeah. Had a shot as bad as we were with runners in scoring position. It gets to be a 5-3 game in the eighth, and the Fernandez kid, he's all over the place. He's hitting people and throwing the ball to the backstop. And so I love me some Drake Baldwin, but 3-2 pitch, you cannot be swinging at a pitch that's a foot out of the strike zone. He takes the walk there. It's a 5-4 game. Again, this goes to all the hitters. When there's guys on base, the pitcher's who's in trouble, not you. And for some reason, there's a swing by Austin right there in the eighth. I mean, they're the ones in trouble, and we need to start relaxing at the plate, Ryan. When there's runners on base, we have to start realizing they're the ones in trouble, and let's not swing at anything going out of the zone. Am I correct?
Yeah, man, that's a situation where they got to come to you, right? You're not the ones in trouble. Yeah, you haven't done well with runners scoring position. Yeah, you guys are struggling to score runs. Again, throw that crap out the window. It's a new day. It's a new at bat. It's a new time to come through for your team. And for the guys who are pressing, you're not going to get everything back in one swing. And I think that's what you're seeing with a lot of these guys right now. They're trying to get everything back in one swing. It's just not possible. Even if you hit a grand slam, great. That's amazing. Guess what? You're going to have future at bats with runners in scoring position that you got to come through with. So the best thing that you can do is try not to do too much, have a good approach to the plate, and put the ball in freaking play. We're taking a lot of hittable pitches right in the middle of the strike zone here lately, which we cleaned up a little bit in games 2 and game 3. But we're also swinging a crap 5 feet out of the zone that we have no business swinging at right now. And when you're doing that, it's because you're just pressing. You're trying to do way too much at the plate, and it's going to do absolutely nobody any good if you continue to do that. Just relax. It's a game. You guys are playing a children's game for a living. I'm not trying to be a jerk, okay? But a lot of these professional athletes, you got like in major leagues specifically, you guys don't have pressure. You're making a lot of money. You're very well taken care of. Just go out there and go play and have fun and entertain us. That's what this is for us. So remember that. Just and go play and have fun. I don't know how else to tell it, Ken. You know, I mean, it could be a way different situation with these guys where they're in a whole different life situation, struggling, like legit struggling to put food on the table. It's just not that serious. It's a game. Go out there and have fun. Do the best you can and quit pressing so much. It's not worth that.
Yeah, it's you got to do that. I mean, so we lose the game 5-3. The one thing, as far as from a coaching aspect, I mean, you don't know how the other game's going to go. So I can't kill him, but we did use Dodd and Iglesias in this game, which leads us to game 2. And some of the good stuff that did come out of this series. One was Reynaldo. Reynaldo struggled in the first inning, gave up a run, and then he was vintage Reynaldo. He was 20 All-Star Reynaldo. I mean, he shoved for the next 4 innings. Ozzie again was a lot of the offense in this series. He hammers a sharp double to tie the game in the first. His next time up, he hits a home run into the chop house for the lead. We were able in the 8th inning to add on 3 runs. We passed the baton finally. Single, single, single. Austin got a big single in it. Mauricio, beautiful bunt that got a run in. Ozzie had a single. Offense looked pretty good in this series, but the bright spot in this game was definitely Reynaldo, don't you think?
Yeah, Reynaldo actually threw the best start of his season in this one right here. Like I looked at his like just eye test. Me and Ken talked about it off the record, and me and him both said his stuff was playing above what it normally does. His fastball had a little bit more giddy up and life to it. His breaking ball was breaking off in there. You know what? Both of them. He was throwing a curveball more, and he was throwing a slider, and everything was up. Everything was up a tick. His RPMs were up on the sliders. RPMs were up on his curveball. He had a little bit more life on his fastball. So he looked really good. Again, the question, and he solved the problem for that start on that night. But the problem, and that every Braves fan is going to ask, can he do it for the rest of the season? Can he do it for a long stretch where when we put him out there on the mound, it's going to be like, okay, it's Reynaldo Lopez day. We got a chance. He's going to go 5-6 innings, give up 2 to 3 runs, maybe no runs, and he's going to strike out 6 to 8 guys. That's the consistencies we're looking for somebody to start taking. I think we have a couple candidates, with him being one of them. We're about to talk about the other one in the next game, but overall, he looked really good. It's the best I've seen Raylo since, what was his really good year? 23? 24? Yeah, it's the best I've seen him since 2024 by far. It was nice to see.
Yeah, and I think he's got a chance because Peter Mullen talked about it on the post game on Braves Vision. He's learned how to throw the curveball, so now he has 2 big breaking pitches. As far as the bullpen, the big 4 come in: Dodd, Fuentes, Lee, and Iglesias, and unhittable. It's unhittable. Dodd is really growing into a guy that you can count on. And the reason why is we're going to have a lead in game 3. We'll get to that. But by using Dodd and Iglesias in a game that we were behind, it kind of ultimately cost us the game in game three a little bit. And we get to what we think is what really cost us. But it was good to see the bullpen throw well again. And we keep saying can't keep counting on this bullpen to shut people down. I was glad they did this in this game. They were lights out, when they Ryan?
Yeah, and it was very much needed, right? The team was down and out. You had a lead, you got it in the eighth inning, you expanded on it. You didn't want to give that up because then that might have been a season crippler right there. When you're up, what, 5-1 heading into the ninth inning, if you give up that lead, that's crippling. But it was nice to see them come in and lock the door down. It was nice to see them get a good victory, but hopefully this momentum wasn't undone in game three, but we're about to get into that very soon, unfortunately.
The other thing that we talk about is they've been struggling runners in scoring position. In the first game, we were 1 for 12. If you get one or two more hits in that, you win that game. In this game, we end up being 3 for 7. Guys, it's not rocket science. If we hit the with ball and guys with runners in scoring position, we're going to win some of this game. So we win game two. Time to win a series. We get to game three. The other bright spot comes out. Now, Hurston gives up a base hit to start the game. Both me and Ryan and even my wife said, Ozzy probably got to make that play. Just got a bad jump on it. He then hits batter Herrera. The one pitch he had a tough time controlling this game was his curveball. A lot of times that can be because of the humidity and stuff. Sometimes pitchers can't get the release. He hits a batter, and then we warned you, man. The kid is here. Jordan Walker's here, guys, and he absolutely hammers a hanging splitter out of the ballpark. Dubon gave it a good run. We go down 3-0. What were your thoughts when that happened? Was it Ryan? Here we go.
I was like, well, at least we won yesterday, and at least the Phillies lost today. That's exactly what went through my mind because I was like, there's no way we're scoring that many runs that quickly.
Yeah, it's you hang a splitter like that. Mauricio gives a great effort here. It's just one more foot shorter. I think he might have caught that ball. So we get to the bottom of the first, and Dustin May struggles against left-handed hitters, and he did. I mean, he was all over the place. I could not get a feel. So he's walking guys. Now Drake got a leadoff single. He's starting to look better at the plate. Just his approach looks better. We get a couple of walks, and Mauricio does Mauricio things. Mauricio gets a big base hit, and then Dom Smith hits a ball that hit. He said it was 91 off the bat. That had to be harder because it ricochets off of May and goes all the way down the right field line. That ball was smoke, and we take the lead 4-3. It's a pretty good answer coming right back, wasn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, it was something that we haven't seen the Braves offense do in God 4 or 5 weeks, right? Like it's been a struggle to get these guys to get on base and score runs at all. So it was really nice to see them answer the bell in the first inning, but unfortunately, they didn't answer the bell no more for the rest of the game, and that turned out to be a big time problem. But it was nice to see they had really good approaches against Dustin May. They made him get the ball up in the strike zone. That was a big key for us over there on the hip goal. Make sure he gets the ball up. Don't chase anything low or high. They didn't, and they put up a really nice inning against Mr. May before he had to be taken out, unfortunately. So, and by the way, I hope that kid's okay, man, because he's played through. He's had so many injuries, and he's finally healthy. He's finally having a good season, and then bang, something else happens. So hopefully, it's nothing too long to where he's going to be out for.
Yeah, I wouldn't have left him out there because a lot of times you get hit in the legs like that, it affects your arm, but it didn't seem like it did too much. Yaz is another guy who's starting to swing a little bit better, him and Baldwin. So, you can take that away from the game. So I think we could have won this game. It's 5-3. So one thing ended up happening, Hurston finally runs out of gas a little bit, which he's over 70 pitches, so he probably should have. Kenley comes in to pitch the top of the sixth. He gets a double play first pitch. Now, okay. So they put him right back out there, which there's no problem with that, except Kenley hangs the slider and they tie the ball game 5-5. All right, we talked a little bit off air. I really think this is going to bullpen or pitching management that AA seems to put us in the next 3 years. Here comes our complaint, at least mine, and you see if you can agree with it, Ryan. I think that just would have went ahead and let Grant Holmes take that six in and see how far he could have gone. What about you?
Why are we still trying to make Grant Holmes a starter? Grant, I love you. Okay, I do. Like, I don't think you're a bad pitcher. I think you're not a very good starting pitcher, and that's okay. That's okay. You're very good. You're an elite reliever. But back to Ken's point on the whole situation with what AA does, I just want to ask you, chat, how many times this year has AA left the bullpen short 1 to 2 pitchers like not every single game, but it seems like when we go on this long road trip or when we have these extended home stands a little bit and we even had a day off before this one and somehow we still have a short bullpen. So if Elder's hurt, just put him on the IL. We're almost at the All-Star break. He misses one start. He's going to miss one start, maybe two at most. You put him on the IL. I'm pretty sure you got two kids in J.R. Ritchie and Owen Murphy that can come up, make the starts. You keep Grant in the bullpen, and he's available tonight. You have your solution for how you're going to close the game out. Even if he doesn't get you all the way to the ninth inning, right? He gets you out of the sixth. He pitches the seventh. He pitches the eighth. You have Dylan Lee to go in there and have a clean inning against this team. And I like Dylan Lee's odds of closing out the game in the ninth inning. He's been the best left-handed reliever in all of baseball. So this is a complaint on AA. I don't understand why you continue to do the things you do with this bullpen and leaving it short night in and night out. It seems like I'll guarantee you at least 35% of our games we've pitched with a short bullpen or played with a short bullpen. Can't have that, especially when you know Reynaldo Lopez and Hurston Waldrop are going to be on pitch counts, and you're going to have to stretch the bullpen those games. It's just inexcusable at this point. You cannot continue to do this and expect Walt to figure out how to piece it together for these wins. This was a winnable game. If you put Grant in there, I guarantee you Grant probably gets out of it, and he might close the whole daggum game. He went into San Francisco, and he didn't give up a run. And he went, 4 1/3 innings? I don't understand what he's doing at this point anymore, man. It's AA. I'm not trying to be overly critical here, AA, but it seems like you don't know what the hell you're doing when it comes to managing a pitching staff roster. I'm just going to go ahead and say it because this should not happen this many times. I'll keep it a $110 with you. Bryce is hurt, or even if it's just soreness, put him on the IL. You have two guys ready to rock and roll up here in the minor leagues right now, and you need to know what they can do anyway for the trade deadline. Do we need a starting pitcher? Do we have one of those guys in the minor leagues who could come up and give us innings later on? Like, you got to figure it out anyway, but you're just sitting on your hands. It's kind of irritating at this point.
It really is. I've been a proponent of this, and even with my friends and just text exchange. I'd rather see a kid come up here and see exactly where we're at. It's what the Dodgers do. It's the one thing the Dodgers do. They'll keep throwing these kids, Sheehan, Rolevsky. Doesn't matter if they struggle. Even Sasaki, who struggle. They keep putting them out there, and they know what their best pitchers are. And maybe that's, in AA's defense with not really having a number two is getting effective. He thought that was going to be Strider. That has not been Strider. This is not trying to take a knock on Spencer, but he has been hurt, and he's not a number two. And so yeah, it's really what the game is, and we just don't have any offense enough to get through that. And so the Cardinals win the series. 2 out of 3. We lose the series. I think that's 6 out of the last 7, Ryan. We've lost. So we're in a bad funk. We are 5. I think it's 5-15 or some mess like that. It's bad. Any more to take away from the series before we get into our play of the series and MVP of the series?
Yeah, we burned Dylan Lee for tomorrow night.
Yeah.
For no reason. Appreciate your roster management here, AA. I'm going to be critical on this one. This was on you, not on the players. Look, I will say offensively, yeah, they didn't do a job after the first inning, but in their defense, they had a 5-3 lead heading into the late innings, and because of your management, they had nothing left in the tank to get the job done. Even if Dylan Lee closes that inning, who's going to 8th and 9th inning? What are we doing? What's the game plan? Like, come on, brother. Like, you can't be this thick over this roster construction. Like, get it together a little bit. Clean it up.
Yeah, they got to let the kids pitch. I mean, we've got to find out where we're at. We do still have a 2.5 game lead. The Phillies did lose. We got the one thing that we called. We did think the Pirates could go in and split. Now they didn't split the games we thought exactly. Skeens got rocked in his worst start of the year, but at least they got a split. So we're still 2.5 up. We're 4 games up in the loss column. Nobody really wants to hear that when you've lost 6 out of 7 series, but with that said, who's your MVP of the series?
Man, it ain't going to be an Atlanta Braves, that's for sure. I would, for the Cardinals, their bullpen.
Yeah.
Their bullpen absolutely shoved against us. We didn't hardly do anything against their bullpen. For instance, today they threw 8 shutout innings when they came in, and we didn't hardly. I mean, we scored a little bit yesterday, but then game one we didn't score at all off them either. So, kudos to the Cardinals bullpen for coming in and locking it down and allowing their team to come back and get the win. I mean, tip of the hat there.
Their bullpen threw well. I mean, they did all the way up from their eighth guy to their closer threw well. Riley only had the one hard hit from Matt when he closed, so he did well. I'm going to go the kid. I'm going to go Nathan Church. He gave him the lead in both games, ones and threes, both of them with home runs, a 3-run homer and a 2-run homer. Do like the way he drops the bat head. He's got a little swing and miss right now, but he's a young kid, 25 years old. I think they got somebody in the Church kid. He can run. He looks like he can patrol center field. So they got a good one in St. Louis. I'll go ahead and take the play of the series because I named him. I think the player of the series was Nathan Church's home run. Gave him the lead. We tied the game, made it 5-5, and we had the lead and a big swing, and he took advantage of Tyler Kinley's slider that just, as you ought to say, popped out of the hand, and he crushed it. What about your play of the series?
I'm right there with you on it, man. That was kind of the dagger in the Atlanta Braves. So they had a 5-3 lead, and then you see that ball going to the chop house, and you know that your bullpen's short. And now we are going to have a really tough road ahead of it, and the Cardinals really took advantage of that. You could just feel the air get sucked right out of the stadium at that point, and it was the turning point of the series, unfortunately. So.
All right, before we get to the Mets and them coming to town for a 4 game set, it's a wraparound series. Goes all the way through Monday. Big crowds will be here. You better get there. It's going to be packed, probably sold out every game. Mets will bring enough fans. It's the only time they have a lot of people live down here from New York. Before we get in, let's get into some of the news that come across the wire. So during this series, A.J. Smith-Shawver made his rehab through great. 3 innings. He did give up a solo home run, did not walk a batter, had 4 strikeouts. Me and you both kind of talked today in text messages. AJ's, that's probably putting his timetable. He'll probably right here what we first thought, told everybody when the season started, if they listen to Hardcore Braves, he will be here at the right as the trade deadline gets here August 1st. Do you feel saying that AJ can get here by August 1st?
Yeah, I said a late July, early August, and that was going to be the timetable for him, and he's right on track. There's another interesting development, though, with the starting pitching staff. Hopefully, he is coming back soon. It looked like he was throwing 90 feet today. Looked. I don't know. Chat. I'm saying it looked like it was 90 feet today, and that was Schwelly. Schwelly and 90 feet, if you don't know, it's the gold standard. That's what these guys use. Once they can throw about 20 to 30 pitches off of flat ground, then you move to the mound, and then you throw some bullpens. If you're paying free there, then they throw you down to the complex league, and that's when you start the whole process of building up. So it looks like we're starting to get a little bit healthier. The pitching staff's getting there. Waldrop looked good. A.J. Smith-Shawver's coming back. Hopefully Schwelly will be back. Hopefully, September-ish. But reinforcements are on the way, hopefully, but we need the guys who are here right now to start performing again.
The key reason why on Schwellenbach we can't give you an exact because you always can have a setback, so you just have to go in it gradually. I would say that Bo put out a little bit. I think he finally did it, so I can actually say it. He looks like maybe end of August, but let's not get too excited. You never know. He may have to miss a start. All those things are how the arm is sore. But yeah, 2 very good developments with that. The other thing that has happened is that Walt talked about Ronnie. We said it, if he was not here by the time this series, the Braves most likely would just then hold him out. There's no reason to rush him back for 1 week when you get the 3 days off. We're probably looking at Ronnie being back for the next homestand, which starts against the Rangers on the 17th. You feel the same way, Ron?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna be honest here, Ken. It's overkill for a grade one hamstring. I know it's his second time with it. I get it, but my God, what is that? 7 weeks? 7 weeks, something like that. It'll
Total.
be.
It'll be total, yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's a long time for a hamstring, man. Grade one at least. Grade two, definitely, I could see it being that long, but I know they want Ronald to be healthy for the long term, so I get it, but it shouldn't have been that long. But we need a healthy Ronald Acuna Jr. for the rest of the year, and hopefully he can start putting this Braves team on his back. Because God, do we need it offensively right now? So hopefully Ronald's good to go when we get back after the All Star break.
Not to put too much pressure on you, Ronnie, but if you could come back in July 17th against the Rangers as close to 2023, not the stolen bases, I don't care about that, but the slug part, you'd really appreciate it. The other thing that happened is they did bring up Jim Jarvis. We also asked for that. We people were trolling us all day today. Or is AA now watching the show? Hopefully he is. We gave him some hints on the pitching staff, so maybe he'll listen to us. But he did listen. Uh, I do understand why Hassan Kim was not the corresponding move. They did have two basically DHs, so they let Tellez go. And Jim played well tonight. I mean, he got a base hit. He played great defense. He turned two double plays. I'm not sure Hassan can turn anymore. And I'm excited to see him play a little bit, aren't you?
He's going to stabilize shortstop. I think you're going to see him and Mateo kind of platoon a little bit. I don't think he's going to get the run. He's going to get the run just because you're not going to face many left-handed pitchers. But HSK days of playing shortstop are done, I feel like. And it's all for the best because he has been literally the worst singular player in Major League Baseball this year, if I had to guess. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the kid can do. We got him for Rafael Montero, and he was not a very good pitcher. So I'm interested to see, even if he turns out to be just a super utility guy. I mean, that'll be really fun. But all he has to do get a couple hits every 10 at bats, get on base at give me a 31% OBP, 310 OBP, and go out there and play good defense. That's all I need out of you, kiddo. Anything else is a bonus, man. So I need Austin Riley. I'm gonna harp on you until you finally figure it out. Yeah, I need you to get going, big fella. It's about time. It's about time.
I made a thing to Ryan. I want him to cut his hair. If you're hitting bombs, I don't mind you rubbing your hand through your hair all the time. So I'm gonna ask Anna if she can't just go ahead and cut his hair off now. Um, so let's get to the Mets series because Jim's going to get to play 3 of the 4 games. The pitching matchups, we believe they still have not fully come out with them. We think it's going to be Christian Scott in Game 1, big time arm, during the hip coil. We like the way the ball comes out of Christian Scott's hand. Game 2, maybe a bullpen kind of game with Senga taking the bulk. They found kind of the honey hole with Kodai. He did that last game and he threw very well. So they're trying to get him back in the rotation. Sometimes you do that with a guy. Game 3 is Sean Manaea on Sunday afternoon. Remember, the game Saturday and the game Sunday is not on Braves Vision. You got to go to the national game on Saturday in Peacock. So most of y'all will be watching on the MLB app on Sunday. Nobody wants to pay that subscription for 1 game a year, but they're on Peacock. Early start 12:30, and we better win at least 2 of those 3 because coming Monday comes their ace Nolan McLean. We know we're going to throw Sale. We know we're going to throw Perez. We know we're going to throw Holmes on Friday. Monday most likely will be Grant Holmes and Reynaldo. So with that said, what do you think about the pitching matchups and the Metsies coming to town?
Please, for the love of God, Alex, let Grant be in the daggum bullpen and call up J.R. Ritchie. There's no more need in doing this crap. Come on, man. Um, the Mets have got some nice pitchers. I will say that Christian, as you said, Christian Scott's he's really nasty. He's a good one. Nolan McLean's a good one. You got the Chris Sale wannabe and Sean Manea, and then Kodai. It's going to be interesting to see Kodai pitch. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they attack that. I'm not stuff wise. If he is really tunneling that fastball and forkball well, it's going to be a really tough time. But he hasn't really been throwing the forkball very well, so it's going to be interesting. But it's the Mets. I really need them to shit the bed this weekend. I'm just not going to lie. I need them to shit the bed this weekend for us.
I'm really getting tired of these teams fighting when we play them because they seem to come together against us. The Giants were fighting, the Padres were fighting, and they handled us. And now the Mets are kind of fighting. Lindor and Soto, they're having discussions. Cohen came out and gave the terrible. He guarantees Stearns he's doing a good job. He's not going anywhere, so David Stearns will probably get fired by the end of the year. That's always what happens. I will say this about their best part of their team is their bullpen, Ryan. Their bullpen's pretty good. Not so much their closer, but the other guys are really good. Weaver, Brazaban, and Brooks Raley. We got to get a lead because I think the team again gets the lead to win these games. We've been right on that so far with these bullpens. We said it in the Padres series, and that happened, and we lost the games in New York because they had the lead. You think that's a big thing? We got to get off to good starts, leads early.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, I will say there is hope in the ninth inning against Mr. Williams.
Yeah.
There is some hope, but you have to tune into the hip cool for it. I'm not giving it away on here. I'm just not going to do it. You're going to have to tune in for the hip cool. But there is hope. But Brazaban, Brooks Raley, I would even say Luke Weaver a little bit. There's a little bit of hope there with Luke Weaver that you might score, but the other two, man, they're pretty good. Pretty good. Brazaban throws 100-mile-an-hour sinkers. That's never fun for anybody. My God, I don't even know how that's possible, Ken. I don't get it.
They got another lefty in AJ Minter, and he's been very good. We have a lot of thoughts on him, but tease that. You're going to turn into the trade deadline show. We're going to talk about AJ. So that pod will be out as well later today. This pod's coming out Friday morning, so Friday afternoon, check that out before the game. And we give AJ Minter, who will always be one of our favorite Braves, some love. So is there a possibility that 33 will be back in the Braves uniform? Well, check the trade deadline and we'll let you know. All right, with that said, how are we going to do in the series, Ryan?
At the very best, we're going to split. I have no faith in these guys right now, man. Look, I want to believe. I want them to be. And then there was some signs. The at-bats were better for the most part in the last two games. We started hitting with some runners in scoring position, but I'm not believing you guys yet. I need more from you. I need more consistency. Austin Riley, you finally tickled my fancy a little bit, and you finally drove a ball to right center field on a line with a good launch angle, but then you came right back and you chased a sweeper that was 10 feet outside the strike zone. I wanted to take the bat and shove it up your you-know-what, but, 2 out of 4. At best, 2 out of 4. And I could really see us losing the series because, we're just playing that bad of baseball right now. So, but I think 2 out of 4. 2 out of 4.
Right. I get to watch the Mets as much as me. I have the MLB TV, and they are a bad baseball team. I know they took 2 out of 3 from us up there.
That's what I'm saying.
But I know. I'm going to go 3 out of 4. We'll win 3 out of 4. I just don't see that baseball team able to get. And the more they're fighting, the less they're going to get. And I don't think much of Andy Green. I think Andy Green's more of a front office guy. He proved how bad of a manager he was in San Diego. So Walt will out-manage him this series. I'm with Ryan. Start hamstringing Walt and get the guys here that we can pitch. Stop this worrying about the kids and all this stuff like that. Let them throw. Let them throw. I mean, whatever you got to do, heck, bring both of them up. Piggyback those guys. Do what you got to do. Ian Hamilton is not going to be the answer. Okay, Ian, nothing against Ian, but he's not going to be the answer. Get Danny Young right. Get Danny Young up here. Let him see what he's got. Let's find out what we got before we go to the trade deadline. So I got 3 out of 4. You got 2 out of 4. Pick to click. Who is going to be the guy that can get a split and maybe surprise you and take 3 out of 4, Ryan?
Ken, sit on the hip cool. I'm going out on a bleeping limb right here. I've had a lot of bleeps here in this podcast chat. That's how stressed I am. I've had to bleep out my bleeps. So, Austin Riley. I'm going out on a limb for you. And I look, it was a good sign to the right center field. I need that more. I need it like I need to breathe oxygen. Get your daggum direction. Listen, I'll come truest and I will sit there with you. I will teach you all about direction. I'll teach you everything I know about it. I'll teach you the feel. I'll teach you how to even get your little toesies in the dirt to feel the ground, for God's sakes, to get you going to right center field, buddy. I'll do whatever it takes to get you going. But I think you have a good series. I'm not going to say you're going to light the world on fire, but I will say you're going to have one big hit that helps us win a ball game this series. That's all I'm asking for. Start there. Good at bats, a walk, and a big knock. Actually, more than one walk. Get like 3 or 4 this series, and one big knock. That's who's going to be my pick to click, Ken.
I told you on the hip call, if he ends up being the pick to click, we're going to sweep this team. That's not me being down on Austin, but if Austin gets
It's a
hot,
fair take.
yeah, if Austin gets hot, we're fixing to roll, boys. I'll go Michael Harris. I think Michael, even when he struggled, his OPS is last 16 games is in the 600s, but I'm not really worried because his at bats are still solid. He did strike out on a called sweeper, but he got fooled on the pitch. The guy threw a great backdoor sweeper. He's not missing pitches. He may miss them and roll over, pop up, but he's on. I'm gonna go Michael Harris have a big series, and I think he'll hit one into the chop house. So that's what we got. Any final thoughts tonight before we get out of here?
Please win baseball games. I miss it, Atlanta. Please start winning baseball games. I've been nice about it, guys. Come on, please.
And Ryan's got remember his hip coil is out. It's coming on right after this, so you can listen to this recap, take a little break, listen to the hip coil that afternoon, listen to the trade show. We got 3 pods going into the Mets series. It's a holiday weekend. A lot of y'all are going to be off today. Nothing better than listening to Hardcore Braves. Listen to it all day long. So, and Erin has already promised she's got a video coming out. And I can just tell you it's going to sound delicious. So jump in there and listen to that. So we appreciate you. Remember, it's going to be hot at the stadium. Come. Oh, guess what, Ryan?
What we
One
got?
of our best big time fans, Matt Olson Burner.
Burner, baby.
He's
Coming to the stadium.
He's coming to the stadium. And
Coming
he's
to the
coming to see
stadium.
me. So I get to see Matt Olson Burner. So I'm excited about that. I sit in section 330. We have people going to come watch my daughter, so me and my wife can actually get to a game. So we're going to go for Saturday and Sunday. I'll be there. Y'all come by and see us. We love that. We do appreciate you supporting Hardcore Braves. Remember, at Braves Homer 27, at Aaron on deck, at Andrew Davison 10, Boyd PC 15, Hip Cole, and at Hardcore Braves. We love you, Braves Country, and we're out of here. Peace.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.